is up, Moonbeams? Today we are back in the kitchen to make yet another meal. But this meal comes with a challenge. So I am making a lasagna today, minus the noodles. So if you're looking for something that's more a little bit on the low carb side, this might be what you're looking for. But the challenge is, I'm missing some of the ingredients. And so we're gonna try to figure out what I can substitute with successfully. So for this recipe, you are going to need frozen chopped spinach, olive oil, ground beef, kosher salt, minced fresh garlic, marinara sauce, cream cheese, 1 large egg, black pepper, skimmed mozzarella cheese, and a small onion. Now that probably doesn't sound too bad, right? Well, guess what we are missing? We are missing the olive oil and we are missing the cream cheese. Now I have a pretty good idea what I'm going to be substituting those 2 ingredients with, but I don't know if this will work out well. You can hope. Appliances that you're going to need is you're going to need a bowl. Always need a bowl. You need a pan, and you need an 8x8 casserole dish. So to get started, we're gonna preheat our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And while that is heating up, we're gonna defrost the spinach in the microwave. I'll be honest, I had it sitting out for like a good hour. It kind of defrosted itself. We might be okay. But we're gonna put it in a colander and try to squeeze out the rest of the juice, so hold on. Now the easiest way to do that is you're just gonna put it in one of these. Oh, that actually probably could use a little bit more defrosting. Is it cheating if I use water? I don't know. Like warm water to kind of melt it down a bit more. Like I'm not boiling it in the colander. I'm just, melting down a little bit more ice. I mean, if you're going to microwave it, you're already adding additional water to the bowl to thaw it out, so why not just save yourself a step? That's what I think anyway. Am I wrong? Probably, but that's okay. I'll deal with that. And then you're going to take a spoon. This is the best I have to a spoon, and you're just going to kind of squish it out. Squish out the water. If you can't get all the water out, it's not going to be a make or break for you, so don't worry too much about it. Now we're going to heat the olive oil in the skillet for about 3 minutes. And then we're going to add beef, onion, and salt. I don't want to jump onto starting the skillet too early because since I am not using, here's the first one, I'm not using olive oil. And I am not using olive oil because I do not have any. I have avocado oil, which has a higher burn point than olive oil. So it's not going to go up and smoke faster, but it is going to smoke. And I don't want it sitting there on medium-high heat long enough to burn off all of that oil. We need to avoid that. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the onion. I do not have a small onion, I have a large onion. I'm gonna attempt to cut out about 4 ounces. And I always wonder what is the perfect type of onion to use for specific items or recipes that I'm making. And I found that the red onions are really good for fresh meals or whatever. Say you want to do a salad, the red onions are the way to go. But if you're doing some cooking, I feel like the white or the yellow onions are where you want to go. Downside with the white and yellow onions, they make your eyes water. And they make you cry, which I am not a fan of, yet here I am, chopping onions. I'm actually going to use my little kitchen scale for this part. I've already measured out the weight of this bowl, so that now it is at a full 0, and I've switched it over to ounces. So I'm just going to cut some of this onion and see how long it takes to get to 4 ounces. So keeping in mind that this is going to go into the skillet here in a couple moments, but I want it to all cook pretty evenly. So I kind of want these all to be the same size and no skin. I am trying to keep myself as far away from this as I can because this is why I didn't put makeup on today. Because if there are onions involved, good chance you're gonna cry off your makeup. So we're not gonna, I don't want that lovely look. Right, so we are not even at 1 ounce yet. So we're gonna keep going. Take off another chunk right there. All of you professional culinary chefs probably oh my gosh, this is so painful to watch. She's doing it wrong. I'm sure. But I am a home cook. This is the best you get from me. This is why I don't own my own kitchen. As fun as it would be to have a restaurant, I don't think I could handle it. I feel like there's too much pressure. I like when the onions get stuck onto the knife. Less to transport. All right, so we're a little over 3 ounces. We need just a wee bit more. Pop this part off right here. I know you're supposed to use your knuckles but like I cannot get my hand to stay in that position that would actually help prevent me from cutting my fingers. It feels weird. Like I can't do this little, I can't do that. That just feels weird to me. I mean, now we've gone over about 0.05. There we go. Okay. So you guys can see. Can you see? Do you see? 4 ounces right there on the dot. We have our 4 ounces of onion. Fantastic. Now I need to grab the salt. I don't need a lot of salt, and that's good because I don't have a lot of salt. So I'm going to put the onion away, get all of that out of the air, grab this, put it in here, and pop it in the fridge. One of the great things about my kitchen is my towels are all fall because fall is my favorite season. But the minute I find some towels, oven's ready. The minute I find towels that have all of like the moon phases, this kitchen is getting a complete and utterly rehaul because I'm going to put moons everywhere. So here is the pan that I will be using to cook the onions and the beef. The beef, it says you're supposed to use like an 85% to 15%. I don't like having that much grease, so I always do like the 96.4. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically it tells you how much meat to fat ratio. So when you cook it, this is how much will stay the meat and this is how much of fat will drain out. If you get the 83, it's a higher, there's more fat that you have to dispose of, which you should not be putting down the sink because now you're just going to cause issues for yourself in the future. But do what you will. I'm not going to stop you. But I think it's a bad idea. Alright, so we're going to heat olive oil over, well, in this case, we are heating avocado oil, medium heat. And how much avocado oil? I am doing a 1-to-1 ratio for these because I think it'll be fine. So I need a tablespoon of avocado oil. Have a tablespoon. Pour that in. Put that in the sink. We're going to set the pan to medium-high heat. So just like straight down the center. I'm going to let this start getting heated up, warmed up. Once the oil can freely move across the pan, it's hot enough. I'm going to throw out the rest of this onion. And then we also have to chop up some fresh garlic, which honestly, one of my favorite things. Okay, all of the onion is gone. I'm going to grab my garlic over there. And how much garlic? Is it a tablespoon of minced fresh garlic? Tablespoon of minced fresh garlic. Great. What does that mean? I don't know. I'm going to do like 3 cloves. That is a teeny tiny clove. All right. So I have found that with garlic, it's best if you crush it in your hand to get the skin off. Not break it in half like I just did. But usually, kind of pressing it starts kind of dislodging the skin, making it a little bit easier. A little bit. I didn't say it was going to be a lot easier. I said it was going to be a little easier. These little hacks are not going to like save your life, but they're helpful sometimes. I remember my dad growing up had this brilliant tool. It was like a little silicone thing, and he would just put the garlic inside of it and just roll it, and the skin would come right off. But, I mean, you can do that with your hands. Downside, you get garlic residue all over your hands, and your hands will smell like garlic for the next 3 days. But, on the plus side, vampires will leave you alone, right? Isn't that what they say? Vampires don't like garlic? Which is so sad because it is actually so good. If you have never roasted a clove of garlic in the oven and just eaten straight garlic, I'm going to encourage you to try that sometime. There's a recipe online for like how you do it. You just put it in like a muffin pan and then put tinfoil around it, add a little bit of oil on top, and you cook it in there for so long. I haven't done it in forever, so I don't remember like all the specifics on what you do for it. I just remember I thought it was delicious. Alright, I'm going to add the onion. I love the sound of that sizzle. Downside. Onion fumes get everywhere. And then we're going to add the beef. Just like anytime you're handling raw meats, like you definitely want to wash your hands afterwards because you don't know if you could get like any kind of salmonella, especially with like chicken and all that. If you are vegetarian, maybe add like tofu, or I'm trying to think what would be a good alternative. Because if you're looking for something high in protein, I feel like you would know what kind of legumes, is that what you call them, to put in this. There are alternatives for everything. If you don't like beef, you can use chicken. If you don't like chicken, you can use turkey. If you don't like meat in general, you can use beans. I don't know if you should use black beans, kidney beans. I'm going to leave that to your discretion because that is something I would not know. Alright, so we are just going to cook this up. We got to add the salt. I know it has like a set amount of salt. I'm sorry. It's my recipe. Like, I found the recipe, but I'm like changing it as I go. Every time I make it a little bit different. I can definitely smell that the oil is like pretty much gone. Alright. That I propped up on the handle so it's not on the pan, but it's also not on my counter. So, that's great. Alright, so we need to mince fresh garlic. I wish I had an easy way of mincing. I have an old-fashioned way of mincing where it's all done by hand. Not everything is going to turn out perfectly, but you're going to try to get it as close as you can, and I think that's good enough. Like, hopefully this gets you in the kitchen more to do stuff like this. And if you want to turn this on while you are cooking, we can totally cook together. I am all for that. That sounds like so much fun. And I'll be like your little cheerleader, say like, oh my gosh, you are doing so great. Like, I didn't even know that was a style you could use. You're a genius. Like, if you need like those, I could do that for you. And just like pump you up a little bit, but you just let me know. Let me know. If you need cooking videos where like I'm your personal cheerleader while you're making whatever it is that we're making, let's do it. I love it. Maybe at some point I can do a live and we can do all of this together. I think that would be fun. Do I have a tablespoon anymore? Do I have a clean tablespoon anymore? No, I don't. Is it truly like a whole tablespoon, or is it like the tablespoon measure? I could probably do another clove. That doesn't look like enough. Let's add one more. What's the worst thing that could happen? Don't forget, you have two things happening right now. Don't let the meat sit in one spot for too long. Make sure you're stirring and mixing and getting it all brown. Last clove. Grab this guy right here. There's a big one. Just like all the others. It's like if you finagle it enough, if you like twist it around, everything just starts kind of flaking off. Which is fantastic. I need it to. I don't want it in the food. This is a flavoring, not anything else. There we go. Got it off. And we're going to mince. Basically, mincing is just finely shredded garlic. Diced, they'd be a little cute. Like, you can cube, you can dice, you can mince, you can, I don't know. Cooking is hard. I don't know how you professional chefs remember what is what. Like, it would confuse me. I like to think that is pretty minced. That looks pretty minced. Boom. Into the tablespoon. Did we go a little over, a little under? Who knows? It's like with everything else I make, I'm like very particular about the amounts. But when I'm making something I've made a bunch of times before, I'm like, we'll see what happens. Usually when I'm cooking beef, I always try to like burn out all of the oils and all of the fat, but that does take time. I don't think I'm going to have a chance to do that today. But what I can do in the meantime, so the second thing I'm missing cream cheese. So I'm replacing it with cottage cheese. You need like the smoothness of the cream cheese, so we are actually going to have to blend the cottage cheese, and I need 8 ounces of it. So once again, I'm going to grab my kitchen scale, and I am going to get a clean one of these, not the oniony one. Grab one of these, make sure it's at 0, solid 0. Grab a spoon, and then we're going to try to measure out to 8 ounces. Okay, so if I put that right there, you should be able to see when we hit the 8 ounces. Little over. There we go. 8 on the dot. How about that? So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get it in my blender. Every now and then you have like the perfect item in the kitchen. I have a little magic bullet because this is not a lot. I don't want to pull out a huge blender like what I make smoothies and stuff in. That's too much. So we're just gonna put it in here. And then you get the other thing. I think this is gonna be the one that I want to use. I'm just grabbing the one that is a little bit flatter because I don't know about this one. I'm gonna use this one. Will it work better? We'll find out. Same spoon from before. I just rinsed it off real quick. Gonna pour all this in here. And we can add a little bit of heavy cream to it, which weirdly enough, I have heavy cream, but I don't have cream cheese. That doesn't seem right. I just know I really have to get this used pretty soon. Going to pour in a little bit of heavy cream. It's like reminds me of high school. If you got milk, this is the kind of thing it would come in. All right, I don't want to add a lot. I just want to add a bit. Kind of smooth it out a little bit more. So we're gonna screw this on, and now pop it over here, and let's blend it. I think I need to add some more of that heavy cream. Maybe that's why you have to add the heavy cream, because it gets just all stuck. We'll add a little bit more, and then I think we'll be good. It looks like it's getting all of it. Not bad, not bad. All right, that should have done it. So this should be, there we go. So I'm gonna set this off to the side. The ground beef is done. Just to drain it, I don't think that there is enough oil for me to really be concerned about. So I don't think I'm gonna drain it. It's not enough. It's just not enough oil. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add garlic and cook for 30 seconds. So putting it back on that medium-high heat, now we're gonna add our garlic. Okay, so we got everything kind of switched around so you guys can actually see what we're putting together. So I think it's looking pretty darn good. So we're gonna just mix in that garlic, and then it says only for 30 seconds. So like this is a quick, fast pace, go, go, go. So that's fine. We're gonna add the marinara sauce now. Now for the marinara, I found the Lucchini. It is a sugar-free sauce because I'm trying to go sugar-free. It's not hard, I just miss cookies, which is fine. It's only for a short period, and then I'll be right back into eating cookies. It's fine. I can do this for a bit. I think my health is a bit more important than cookies. All right, I need half a cup of marinara. My half cup is always in the drying rack because I use this every morning when I'm making my London fog, which I did realize halfway through, like maybe an hour after I posted that I was drinking London fog every morning, that probably a lot of people have never heard of London fog. It is a tea latte. I cannot open that. It's not opening. I'm gonna turn this down because this is taking a bit longer. 3, 2, 1. Hey Nate.
Butter knife, please.
Butter knife?
Yeah.
What's the butter knife supposed to do?
Just you'll loosen it up.
Oh.
So you put it in there. So you basically just kind of bend it until air can suck in. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Pretty nifty. I learned something. Now we're gonna mix this. It doesn't look like enough marinara, but if I feel so obligated, I can add more. If I feel so obliged. It already smells really good. So this is actually like a brand of marinara sauce that I've never tried before. I got Rao's last time, and I like Rao's. I think it's really good, but this one, I don't know, caught my attention. All right, now we turn off the heat once we add the marinara. So then we've got our cream cheese substitute right here. And now we are going to add an egg, black pepper, and the remaining kosher salt. So, we grab an egg. And if you guys watched the episode where me and my girlfriends went to the farmer's market, still have the eggs. Okay, so I'm actually going to make this really easy. I'm going to add the egg in here. Beautiful. I'm going to add a little bit more salt. My discretion of salt and pepper. I don't want to go like heavy hitting with the pepper, but you do want to get a little bit of flavoring in there. There we go. All right. Am I missing anything? No, I am not. So I'm going to put the lid back on this, and I'm going to blend it again. Yes, I am cheating. I know. I don't care. I'll be honest, I do not feel like measuring out 10 ounces of spinach, so I think I'm just going to use the whole 12 ounces. I don't think it's going to be a bad thing, but I'm going to add it to a bowl. Fantastic. There's the spinach. And then we are going to add this mixture. Whee! And then we're just going to stir this all up. Maybe I added too much heavy cream, but I think it's okay. Now, we are going to spread the spinach spit that out. I'm going to spread the spinach mixture evenly on the bottom of the prepared baking pan. Do not spray over the floor. You will be on the floor over the sink. Now we're good. It is prepared. Fantastic. Good job, me. All right, so we're going to add... Do we only add a little bit? Nope, we add the whole thing. All right, so we're just going to dump this all in. I'm going to move this over to the camera for everybody to see. Everybody. Sorry. A little bit more in there. All right, so spread it all evenly. Now, we're going to top it with the beef marinara mix. So this is just going to go right on top. And now you're like, Marie, you forgot a very important thing. No, I did not forget anything. I know there's supposed to be marinara on this. I will get the marinara. Don't worry. And no, I will not listen to the instructions. I will probably dump the entire bag of the... Did I call it marinara? Forgot the mozzarella. No, did not forget the mozzarella. Probably will add the entire bag. Here's the mozzarella. Just do a quick little peek. Got that, got that, got that, got that. Got that. That. Nope, I got everything. I think we're good. We're going to sprinkle mozzarella on top, and then we're going to bake the lasagna for 30 minutes. All right. We love cheese in this house, so I do not go lightly on the cheese. I told you I was probably going to use the whole bag. I was not kidding. I'm going to try to spread this pretty even over the whole pan. So again, 30 minutes in the oven. Then you're going to take it out, let it stand for about 10 minutes before you start cutting it up, okay? I know it's very hard you've waited this long. But if you've waited this long, what's another 10 minutes, right? You'll be fine. Now we just have to play the waiting game, and I have to clean up my kitchen, so. Yay. All right, guys, and just like that, it is ready. The magic of editing. 30 minutes became like 0.1 second, but boom. There is the lasagna. It looks delicious. This is 6 servings. So, every single time, my necklaces just start burning my skin. So 6 servings. Cut it up as you will. But this is fantastic. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. I'll see you later. Bye.